Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in the basement again. That's right, I'm out of the doghouse. Well, enough to get in the basement, anyways. But I missed the Arizona Coyotes. I forgot all about them. Sorry about that. So I'm going to do them today. Um, this would have been my first negative post if Don Maloney was still there because the game had passed the fellow by. He's the general manager of the Arizona Coyotes. So, and he was still trying to have an old school system. He was bringing in slow players that were hard workers and, all of those sort of character guys. And one guy, a couple still there are Richardson, although Richardson does have a little bit of wheels, but his possession game is horrible. It's masked a lot because Dave Tippett knows how to get the best out of his players. And he knows how to use them in the best situations. So Richardson can put up some points. A guy like Martinook, who probably wouldn't even play in the NHL in most organizations, can do well there. Dave Tippett is brilliant at that. Although he himself does have an old school mentality as well, but he's just so good at motivating and getting the best out of his players. Arizona has made the playoffs several times when they had no business being there. As far as I'm concerned, he should have more. He should have more Coach of the Year awards than he does. He's one of the best. He's up there with Trotz and guys like that. Is the best in the league. Then they go though and they bring in Sheika. If I haven't said that right, I apologize. Sheika, whatever. 27-year-old GM who obviously has a awesome way of looking at hockey, a new way of looking at hockey. And I suppose he wouldn't have been coming from any old school. This is like the way he knows it. He doesn't know it any other way. And he's doing things very, very different. He's like, for instance, with Dylan Strome. I mean, like way out of the box. He's not sending him back to junior. And a lot of people are thinking, how could you possibly not let this guy play? But what he's doing is he's playing them a little bit at a time, getting him used to the NHL. And apparently, when he's not playing, he is working out like a son of a gun. Even during games, or like I've heard that he's still doing like cardio and stuff like that. They're building this guy up to be their big center, and you need one. But they don't have one. He's going to be it unless they draft another one or bring one in. And I don't think they're planning on doing that. This is the guy. He's like, I've been told he's like a Jason Spezza type player. And well, nothing wrong with that. And if you can get the best out of him and put Tippett on that, he'll be probably better than Spezza ever was, I imagine. But it's a different approach for sure, and it's fun to watch. And he is using his young players a lot. He got rid of a lot of the veterans there that were slow and character people, and he's playing Dvorak, and he's giving ice time to the Domies, which I guess they already were, but he's given ice time to a lot of even Dolphin, who in most organizations it wouldn't. I don't even know if Florida would play him, possibly. Because Florida's got the same type of philosophy, but there's not too many teams in the league that would be playing Dolphin right now, and it's really cool to see. I'm really rooting for Arizona because we need hockey to work in Arizona and places like that. For hockey to be competitive with the NFL and NBA, those markets have got to work. And when you have a young guy, I'm hoping that a young guy like Sheika can quickly rebuild this team so it's competitive quick. I don't think you're going to see a slow transition here or a slow rebuild. I think you're going to see him start to bring veterans in sooner than you think. I think he's somebody who's going to react and not be afraid, sort of like I was saying with Tim Murray, remembered his name. And it's going to be exciting to see. And for ownership to have the wherewithal to think of something like this or do something like this is ballsy, and it's outside of the box, and it makes it fun. It makes the game fun to see stuff like this. And then you got Domingue he looks like he's going to be something else. And what is it about coaches, some coaches, that seem to get the best out of goaltenders? I don't know. Barry Trotz. I mean, as soon as he left, all of a sudden, Nashville's goaltender there, he's slipping my mind, is Rene, whatever his name. Why do I forget things? Oh yeah, right, alcohol, right. Um, Pekka Rinne starts to fall. Now Laviolette does play a much different system, and I think that's part of the problem. But wherever he goes, or whenever he has a goaltender, he seems to get the best out of it. Nashville always seemed to have goaltenders. Is that something to do with Barry Trotz? Is it something to do with the coach? I think it might be. I don't know exactly how it would be. Maybe it's the way they associate with them. Their goaltenders are a different position, and they're usually different people. And if you have to interact with them differently, apparently. I'm not some genius, but he seems to be able to do it. Tippett seems to be able to get the best out of his goaltenders. And the team in general. The defense, Ekman Larsson is wonderful. Please get this team competitive so we can see Ekman Larsson in the playoffs. Please don't waste this guy's talent. Let's get some. Goligoski was a nice move. That makes me think that he's going to do this quickly. He's going to see what he's got, and if you don't have youth, he's going to start bringing some veterans in. And depending on his scouts, even in the later rounds, to bring in some really good players, and you're going to see different type of player development there, which is almost more important than drafting. He's probably borrowed from the successful teams in the league like Detroit. Player development is very, very important. So things are looking up for Arizona in a way that Shaika is there. If Don Maloney was there, I'd say, sorry guys, I hope you, like Quebec, get to visit it or something like that, because the team would have been done. Anyways, it's beer o'clock today. The rum is no rum o'clocks for a while. Beer o'clock, and I put in my full 42, so it's time to go. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.